Hey guys, welcome back to another impressions video, and today I'm here to talk about Helldivers for the PlayStation 4, but also available for the PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation Vita. This is a twin-stick shooter developed by Arrowhead and published by Sony, and originally it was a digital-only title that was released some 5 or 6 months ago, and it saw a physical what is called a Super Earth Ultimate Edition physical release last month during August of 2015. And I have to admit, I was not going to pick this game up originally, but I was approached by a good friend here on YouTube, Leo Oliveira, the funny nerd, and he asked me if I was interested in picking the game up, and I said, you know what, I don't know too much about this game. Let me look, let me do some research, and sure enough, I looked at a bunch of trailers and reviews of the game, and the game sounded interesting, sounded like a fun co-op type of shooter game, so I pulled the trigger, and I'm glad I did. I've been playing this game for hours upon hours, for basically every day for the past week or two, and this right here is the physical edition, obviously, which is pretty cool because it comes with the PlayStation 4 version on the disc. And it also comes with a voucher that has the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita codes for you to download the game digitally into those systems. And it also comes with all the DLC for the game, as well as all the weapons, and also a PlayStation 4 dynamic theme, all for $39.99, which in my opinion is a pretty good value. So, like I said, Leo approached me, and I was not going to pick this game up originally, and I'm really glad I did. And so far, I've been playing this game with a couple of YouTubers. Shout outs to obviously the funny nerd, Leo, Spencer from the Itch, also Alex Return to Mother Base, and Steven the Laggy Gamer. We've been playing this on and off for a few days already. And essentially, what this game is, it's a co-op twin-stick shooter that takes place on this fictitious place called Super Earth, in which you have to defend from the threat of different types of enemies. And the game has, for example, the cyborgs, the robots, the bugs, and you can take either on defense or do an offensive approach and attack their planets, and it's really fun. You set out in these co-op missions in which you have different objectives, and the higher the difficulty, the more objectives you have to accomplish before your shuttle arrives and has to rescue and your other 3 friends. And you can play the game solo, or you can play with 2, 3, up to 4 people at the same time. But I would highly suggest that you guys have a internet connection to play this game, because the main draw for this game is to play online with friends or even random people. I've been playing with a lot of just random people, and it's perfectly fine. However, if you're gonna play this game solo, I don't think it's fun at all, because a lot of the objectives require you to multitask, do a lot of things at the same time, and you have enemies coming at you. So the optimal approach for this game is definitely online play, and it's really fun. You have, like I said, up to 4 people can play, and you have loadouts that you have to set up before you embark to a mission. So you have, a primary weapon, a secondary weapon, and a bunch of perks that are called, I believe, Stratagems, and they're really cool. For example, you can have a Stratagem set for ammo. So if you call in, and in order to call in this Stratagems, you need to hold the L1 button and input a series of codes with the D-pad, which they appear on screen, but it's part of the, I guess, difficulty of the game to call out these stratagems to help you out. And like I said, you can call out for ammo supplies, you can call out for extra weapons, you can call in for a mech suit to drop, and you can get inside the mech suit and, start shooting at enemies and things like that, like defensive turrets. There's a ton of different stratagems that you can either, from the get-go, you have a pretty big number available to you, but you can also unlock new ones, as well as new weapons as you progress through the game, and that's part of the fun. Leveling up your character, getting upgrade points for your weapons, for your stratagems, and you obviously improve your character and your weapons that way. But the key to this game is you have to rely on teamwork very heavily. So it is recommended that you play this with friends, or if you're going to play with random people, to have a headset to communicate, because the higher the difficulty, the more coordination you will require with your teammates. And it's a good idea to mix up the different types of weapons. For example, if all three other members in your squad have rifles, for example, or machine guns, it's a good idea for you to carry a semi-auto shotgun, for example, for close encounters, or to have that extra, extra punch when enemies get close to you. So it's good. It's always good to make some balance, kind of like look at what your teammates have in the stratagems loadouts. For example, it doesn't make sense for all 4 members to have an ammo supply stratagem. Maybe if 2 of them have, that's more than enough, and you can carry a different perk for that mission. So it requires a lot of coordination, and this is a part where the game gets a little bit challenging, because for example, there's friendly fire in this game, so you have to be careful where to shoot, or you have to be very aware of your surroundings and aware of where your teammates are, because you can easily kill them or put them down. And obviously other things affect. For example, if you deployed a defensive turret to help you, your own turret can, if it's shooting and you get in the way, you can get killed by your own weapons. And also another funny thing is when an enemy or when your teammate dies, you can call out for him to come back. So you drop this stratagem that it's the spawn basically for your companion, and you have to wait like 2-3 seconds before your friend can come up. But they drop, like all the perks in the game, they drop from the sky, and you have to be careful, because if you're not paying attention and you call in for an ammo supply or a defensive turret, the capsules that have that item drop from the sky, and they can kill you. So it's like friendly fire with friendly everything. You can basically die for just about anything, including the extraction ship that comes to rescue you at the end of the mission when you complete all the objectives, and you go and call the shuttle. The shuttle comes and drops down, and if you're under that area where it lands, it can also kill you. So you have to be extremely careful in that regard. Graphically, the game does not look. It looks okay, but it's nothing to wow you or impress you at all. I think part of the fact that the game doesn't look amazing has to do with the fact that this is a cross-play type of game, where if you have the PS3 version, you can play with somebody that has a PlayStation Vita version and the PS4 version. So all different communities can play with one another, and I'm assuming that's one of the reasons why the graphics are not incredibly powerful on the PS4 version, for example, because everything has to correlate with one version and another version. So, and that's fine. I mean, this is not the type of game where it won't benefit by having amazing graphics, because you have this over-the-head, like isometric type of view that it doesn't really, that won't benefit from like cutting-edge graphics anyway. So the graphics are more than appropriate for what the game is. And the gameplay, like I was saying, you have different types of weapons: shotguns, rifles, semi-auto rifles, machine guns, and you have to be smart about what you carry during the game, and also what types of perks you carry throughout the game. One thing that I really like about the game is that a high-level player doesn't necessarily mean that it will be too easy or too hard for him. Because the game is challenging by itself. There are, I believe, 12 different difficulties. One being the easiest, which is really, really easy. I think the difficulty 1, it's called Dive in the Park, which is, it's basically like super easy. And 12 is like extremely hard. I would say difficulty 5 starts getting challenging already, because the enemy, there's more enemies to fight, and there's newer types of enemies. The more you increase the difficulty, the new and more powerful enemies will attack you. So I think difficulty 5, it's medium, and that already is extremely challenging. And of course, as you can imagine, if you bump it up to 6, 7, 8, 9, and I can't even describe. I played the other day a difficulty 10 level, and me and the other 3 people were struggling just to get done, just to have the first objective done. And as you can imagine, there's like 6 or 7 different objectives before your shuttle, rescue shuttle comes in to rescue you. So the game is extremely hard, extremely brutal. And we were joking about that with Steven and Alex Return to Mother Base. This is like the Dark Souls of twin stick shooters, because we were dying left and right. But the cool thing is, as long as you have a good teamwork, as long as you have, you share your tactics via headset or whatever, I think it's always doable. It's challenging, but not in a like cheat type of kind of way, because like I said, the more you coordinate with your teammates, the better you're off. And again, if you're a low level player, any high rank player can join you, so there's no level limitations, which is pretty cool. And if you're low level, even though you don't have anything upgraded and you don't have everything unlocked, there's plenty of weapons to choose from the get-go. There's plenty of perks to choose from the get-go, so don't feel overwhelmed if you're a low-level player. You do have a lot of tools at your disposal, and you do level up fairly quick through the first few levels in order to unlock more weapons and stuff. But yeah, the gameplay, I thought it was extremely challenging, but in a fun way, and it's balanced in the sense that, again, as long as you work as a team, you will survive through this game. You can also customize your characters, change the the type of helmet, the type of armor. Although I don't think they affect your stats a whole lot, to be honest. But you can change the visuals of your what you're wearing, your costumes basically, which is kind of cool. And again, 4-player co-op, really fun. The soundtrack is very limited. There's some pretty interesting songs, but if you don't have a headset, there are commands that are mapped to your D-pad that you can use to say, for example, move or wait. So even if you don't have a headset, you can kind of use that to communicate with your teammates. And the game, like I said, it's very challenging, but a lot of fun. So if you guys are looking to playing this game, I'd say definitely give it a shot, because even if you don't want to buy the full version, which is $40, I think the standalone digital version is $20, which is not bad at all, considering myself, I'm planning to put a ton of hours into this game, and I'm having a lot of fun. So yeah, that's it for now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all later.